If you're thinking about moving to Alexandria, Virginia, and you've got a budget of around $800,000, this video is going to save you a lot of time, a lot of frustration, and possibly a lot of money. Because here's the truth. A lot of people come into this market with a picture in their head of what $800,000 gets them, and that picture is almost always wrong. Sometimes it's better than expected. Sometimes it's a rude awakening. And the difference comes down to one thing: knowing the market before you walk into it. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what $800,000 buys you in Alexandria today, what you can realistically expect, what you might have to trade off, and what a lot of other agents won't tell you. So if you're doing your homework before making one of the biggest financial decisions of your life, stay with me here because this is exactly the information that you need. Before we get into it, if you're already thinking seriously about making a move to the Alexandria or greater DC metro area, I want you to know that you don't have to figure this out alone. Every single week, I work with professionals and families who are relocating here, and the ones who reach out early always end up in a much better position than the ones who try to piece it together from videos and Zillow listings. If that sounds like you, if you're trying to get clear on your budget, your timeline, and what neighborhood actually fits your lifestyle, my contact info is in the description below. Just reach out, tell me where you're coming from and what you're looking for, and we'll have a real conversation. No pressure, no pitch, just clarity. All right, let's get to it. Before we talk numbers, let me give you a quick orientation, because Alexandria is not a monolithic market. It's a city of distinct neighborhoods, and where you land within it will shape your experience completely. You've got Old Town, which is the historic heart of the city. Cobblestone streets, 18th century architecture, walkable to the waterfront, and some of the best restaurants in Northern Virginia. Then you've got Del Rey, which has a more neighborhoody, artsy feel, and very community-oriented with boutique shops and farmers markets on Saturdays. Then there's Potomac Yards, which is a little bit newer, highly developed urban area that's right near the newest metro stop in the Alexandria, Virginia community. Then you have areas like Seminary Hill, Beverly Hills, and the Rosemont neighborhoods. It's quieter, more residential, and great for families. Each of these feels like a different city, and at $800,000, you'll have real options across most of them. But your priorities will determine which ones fit you best. We'll come back to that. All right, let's talk about the money. As of 2026, the median home prices in Alexandria sit right around the high 600s to low 700s. So $800,000 puts you above the median, which is good news. It means you have options, but it doesn't mean you're buying a mansion, and it definitely doesn't mean you can afford to be passive about the search. Here's what $800,000 realistically gets you, depending on what type of home you're looking for. In the townhouse category, which is one of the most common formats in Alexandria, you're looking at a well-maintained 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhome, probably somewhere between 1,800 and 2,400 square feet. You might get a rooftop deck or a finished basement. In Old Town and Del Rey, you'll likely be at the higher end of that price range for a smaller footprint. The further you move from the waterfront, the more space you get for the dollar. If you're looking for a single-family home, and I get this question a lot, $800,000 will get you into the market, but you'll definitely need to manage your expectations when it comes to size and location. You're realistically looking at 3 to 4 bedrooms, somewhere in the 1,600 to 2,200 square foot range, possibly with some updates needed. True turnkey single-family homes in desirable Alexandria neighborhoods often start closer to $900K and up. At $800K, you may be buying a home that needs some cosmetic work or one that's in a slightly less central location. For condos, $800K puts you in a strong position. You can get a 2-bedroom condo with high-end finishes in a newer building, possibly with amenities, concierge, gym, rooftop, particularly in the Potomac Yard, Crystal City Corridor, and even Old Town. If the condo lifestyle appeals to you, this budget probably fits you quite nicely. Now here's the part a lot of agents skip over, and I think it's the part that's most important. At $800,000, you're going to face trade-offs, and knowing what they are in advance is how you make the smart decision rather than a reactive one. Trade-off number 1, location versus size. The closer you are to Old Town, the waterfront, and the King Street Metro, the more you're paying per square foot. You might be looking at a beautiful 1,400 square foot townhome that checks every lifestyle box, and that's legitimately worth $800,000 in that location. Or you can move 2 miles west and get 500 more square feet for the same money and a garage. Neither is wrong. It comes down to how do you live. Do you walk to dinner 2 to 3 nights a week, or do you mostly drive? The best priced homes in desirable locations often need something. It might be a kitchen update, a bathroom refresh, or even a new HVAC. A fully updated move-in ready home at this price point will likely be super competitive, meaning you're likely to face multiple offers. A home that needs cosmetic work in the same neighborhood might sit a bit longer and give you more negotiating room. If you have the appetite for a light renovation, that could be the smart play. If you want zero friction and immediate move-in, be prepared to move fast when something good hits the market. Trade-off number 3, parking and outdoor space. In the denser part of Alexandria, especially Old Town, parking is tight and private outdoor space is very limited. If you have 2 cars or you prioritize a yard, that will push you towards a townhome with a garage or a single-family home, which probably means slightly adjusting your location expectations. It's not a deal breaker, but it is something to plan around. Let's talk briefly about why Alexandria at $800K is worth taking seriously as a financial decision and not just a lifestyle one. Alexandria has consistently appreciated over the past decade. The proximity to DC, the federal government employee base, the tech region that's expanding through Northern Virginia are all structural demand drivers that don't go away with interest rate cycles. One thing I need you to understand is the cost of waiting. I hear people all the time say, I'll wait until rates come down, and I understand the logic. But here's what the data shows in a market like Alexandria. Prices have historically appreciated faster than rates have provided relief. The buyers who waited in 2022 and 2023 for rates to drop found themselves competing for a higher priced home in 2025 with only marginally better rates. You don't buy the rate, you can refinance, but you do buy the price. And Alexandria prices have not softened in a meaningful way over the past several years. If you're relocating here for work, especially if you're in defense tech, consulting, or government contracting, this purchase is also a hedge. Your employment ties you to this metro area. Owning in a city with strong demand fundamentals and limited housing supply is one of the smarter financial positions you can be in. Let me give you a quick ranking of the neighborhoods most relevant to you with this budget and what each one gives you. Old Town is the prestige purchase. You're buying the address, the walkability, the history, and the lifestyle. At $800K, you're likely in a smaller townhome or a condo. The appreciation here is solid, and the rental income potential, if you ever need to lease it, is pretty strong. This is best for people who want a maximum lifestyle and a compact footprint. Delray is somewhat of a sweet spot right now. It has the community feel, the local restaurant scene, and it's growing in value steadily. At $800K, you can get a well-sized townhome or a smaller single family. It's walkable, but less dense than Old Town. Best for people who want character and community without paying the Old Town premium. Potomac yards in the Carlisle area are your best bet for new construction and condo living. Metro expansion is a major demand catalyst. At $800K, you get spacious, modern 2-bedroom condo or a newer townhome. Best for commuters who want low maintenance and strong resale fundamentals. Seminary Hill and the West End give you the most space for your dollar. Single-family homes, quieter streets, still within Alexandria city limits. At $800K, you can get a genuine house with a yard. Best for people prioritizing space and quiet over walkability. At $800K, you can get a genuine house with a yard. This is best for buyers who want to prioritize space and quiet, potentially over walkability. And here are just a few practical notes on what to expect when you're buying in this market at this price point. First is competition. Well-priced homes in good condition in Delray and Old Town regularly attract multiple offers, sometime within 72 hours of listing. If you see something you like, the window to act is very narrow. This is not a market where you can sleep on a decision for a week. Second, a pre-approval letter or proof of funds is non-negotiable. In this price range and in this market, sellers and their agents will not take your offer seriously without a current pre-approval letter from a reputable lender. If you haven't done this step yet, it needs to happen before you tour a single home. I can connect you with lenders who specialize in this buyer profile if you don't have one in place already. Third, understand what you're actually paying for. In Alexandria, the HOA fees vary significantly. Old Town condos and some townhome communities can have fees ranging from $300 to $700 a month or more. These cover exterior maintenance, amenities, and sometimes utilities, but they will affect your total monthly payment. An $800K purchase with a $500 HOA feels very different from an $800K purchase with no HOA. Your agent should be helping you model these numbers and not just the purchase price. All right, you now know more about the market in Alexandria at the $800K price point than most people who've been researching for weeks and maybe months. The neighborhoods, the trade-offs, the financial logic, and what to expect when you're ready to buy. This is exactly the kind of context that changes how you search and how you negotiate. If you want to go even deeper, the next video I'd recommend is watching my full neighborhood breakdown. I rank every major Alexandria neighborhood specifically for professionals and families relocating from outside of the DMV area, and I score them on a commute, schools, lifestyle, and price appreciation. If you want to go even deeper, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me a DM, and we can talk even more detail about the different neighborhoods in the Alexandria community. Talk to you soon.